Okay. So in answering these questions, as was often said, there are always questions that come for us to answer on doctrine, what we call doctrinal questions, questions that come on the doctrine of the church that are to test us. So baptism is one of it, even communion. Confirmation is another. Sometimes you may even have questions on the Sabbath day. You have questions on certain basic things, even as to what we call clean and unclean animals. Another thing, these are all questions that are quite faith, what we call the faith-based questions or doctrine questions. Every church has its own doctrine. So those questions are being asked to see whether the church that you want to lead as the minister, you want to become soulful in it. If you yourself, you know what the stance of the church when it comes to these areas. I hope you understand. So yes, even issue about tithing comes in sometimes in our question. I recall the year the 50-50 came. There were questions about 50-50, whether it was, what do you understand? Your take on 50-50. So we have to be abreast with most of the things in our church. Get to know the son of the church and then prepare yourself adequately for them. Yes, if you are asked, as he said, on baptism, Papa Isaac Armah has explained to us, you have to know the church stand. One of the authority when they come to that infant baptism has to be a book written by the current moderator, Professor Joy Mante, yes, on infant baptism. A very fantastic book. Get it from the challenge bookshop. Just read and to know our stand on it. On confirmation, get to know why we confirm. If you don't understand it, some of these things, engage your local minister. If your local minister don't understand it, go even to the district minister, engage them, because our stand on confirmation has to do after baptism, being an infant, that is based on the faith of your parent. We baptize you, and then you realize that during the baptism, we even ask questions as to whether they vow to use their own nature, their own attitude, character to help you grow in your Christian faith. Same do the church elders, the presbyters, vow on behalf of the church to use a cordial church environment to help you grow in the faith. So all those things are part of the what we say covenant we go, the vows that we make in church, we go before God. People don't take it serious, but it is a vow. Then when a child is grown, now able to know left and right, knows good and bad, comes forward to say that I want to confirm that faith of mine during confirmation. So we have to know all these things. Why do we have the Sabbath today? A very important thing. Now we are having issues about lesbianism and gayism. You have to have an idea about the church stand, because we have issued so many communities, so many writers on some of these things. So you need to be reading and getting to know the church stand on some of these things, and then prepare yourself. You ask a question as to what are you bringing on board. Yes, I was laughing when you asked that question, because I remember someone was dropped, a full catechist who went to lambast his senior minister, his minister in charge, by saying it's also for we need to change some of the also in the church, bringing people who are fire or just also people who can do deliverance. And the question is, this is a gifting. You are talking about only one gift of the Holy Spirit. Moreover, the church is looking at the variety of the gifts all coming together to play. So if you are using on one gifting, most of you like those things. You think it's all about deliverance, all about cast, go, pieko, pay, tutuo, makaya, Morocco. It's not about it alone. They are more than that. Yes, they are more than that. So when questions are being asked, it's not about, hey, the Presbytery Church or name to me. No, take your time. People were walking on foot. Go and see the history about N.T. Clark, about the Theophilus Opoku, and people were walking. from Accra to a place like Enum, using 5 days, 4 days on foot to spread the gospel. Do you think they were not powerful? Go to the Ramsia, Abitifi there, and they will tell you that they gave that place to the man because there was a lion who usually come to town, and they left that bush for him. And today that's where we have our chapel. So do you think they were not powerful? Is it only about break and loose to pay that makes you powerful? Be careful. So this is all the things they ask. And then you come and you lambast the whole system. What are you bringing on board? I don't like the way the Asofos dress. How do the Asofos dress? Now you are coming to talk about it. We have to dress with sunshine bubble. When we Presbytery don't like sunshine bubble. When I say sunshine, blinky things. No, we are quite moderate. Reformed church, and we move. So know the church you belong to. So if you are bringing a new thing on board, know how you present it. And because we have talked about the doctrine, we also have to know the calendar of the church. Know when it is what we call Pentecost, what we call Advent, what we call why do we have the Trinity Sunday? Why do we have Ascension? To me, for example, when I was going for the interview, I think the next day was going to be an Ascension Day. And I was asked a question, I think it was at the national level, that tomorrow is what? And I said, tomorrow is Thursday. And then it's like, what event is for tomorrow? And I said, tomorrow, what will be the event? Baby, I might dream Namano. And yes, new man. Yes. But do you know what helped me? Then they asked me, so tomorrow, are you going to church? And so we have a revival. And the revival was even starting that Wednesday. So we have a revival on that Wednesday and the next day. So I said, but why then? I said, oh, Ascension. Because of the revival, I forgotten that there's an Ascension. But you should know the days, the seasons that we find ourselves in, so that when you go, questions can come on them. We are now having some of the churches celebrating 100 years. You may be asked a question, which presbyteries are having the 100th anniversary, the centenary? You mentioned them. What do you know about that presbytery? At least if you have something, if you don't know, tell her, I don't know. I only know it's 100 years. So if a similar calculation comes, 100 years, so when was it formed? Then they just want to test your pulse to see whether mathematically you are also good. Because 100 years, it means that you just have to do your quick calculation to know that if it's 100 years, when did it start for us to get 100 years in 2022? These are some of the things. Papani, I think I've talked enough on this. So let's get ourselves prepared. Yes. Yeah, Papa, I think your mic isn't coming. If you can reposition yourself a bit for us.
Please, it's okay now.
Yeah, it's better. We can hear you now.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so any more questions coming in? Today, we are here for you. So please, we want you to pass the interview. So we beg you, ask questions so that you go. Papa King David, also for King David.
Yes, Papa. Good evening. Papa,
one mistake, good evening. One mistake, good evening. The third don't greet good evening. So when you go there, be careful. It is.
Yes.
Peace be unto you. Okay, King David. Yes.
Yeah. Papa, like you said earlier, Papa, you said it. I'm a catechist, and going further. So the question is, if you mean you are called into the ministry, are you not already a catechist? Are you not in the ministry? You're already an agent. Why do you want to still be a minister? This is a big jump. Where do we go from here?
I was once a catechist before entering the ordained ministry. They are two different, even though the roles, we can say that the catechist does almost all the things the minister does, apart from baptism, even baptism, we are told that even if the person is sick and the person needs the baptism and the minister is not available, a catechist or a presbyter can do the baptism and inform the minister later. So apart from the administering of how do you call it, Holy Communion, and most often I tell people we think it is all ministers that do the blessing of marriage. I don't know if Papa Yima's gazette is in, but if you are an ordained minister and your gazette is not in, you cannot officiate marriage. And even we as a church don't consider marriage as a sacrament. We have only two sacraments: the sacrament of baptism and that of the Holy Communion. And so, apart from this, let me say three things that the minister does. The catechist does almost what is left. And so, because these two ministries are two different ministries and they are distinct, if you feel called into the ordained ministry, you feel called into the ordained ministry. And as we have said earlier, you should know, you should be convinced why you feel that you have been called into the ordained ministry and not the lay ministry anymore. And just tell them that and you are good to go. There is nothing prevents somebody from moving from a catechist to a minister. Nothing prevents the person. So just know the reason why you feel that you have been called into the ordained ministry, and just say it, and you are good to go. If maybe my brother Ima has anything to
I think this one day you have been a catechist before, so I will have to leave that one for you, the way you have handled it. But basically, to tell you the truth, a catechist can be an osofo. So we all aspire for what's a greater height in life. If your ministry is to start as a catechist and later to go into the ministry, I think so be it. But Papa, you said that from the lay to the ordained, but the catechists are also agents, right? Per our
They are
churches,
agents, but they are lay agents.
they are
They are
lay
lay
agents.
agents.
Okay.
Yes,
So I
please.
just wanted that clarification. Okay. Thank you. But please, I want to ask the question. Are you okay?
But
Please, are you okay? King David,
yeah,
you're okay.
thank you so much. I'm great. Yes,
Okay.
Papa. Yeah, thank you so
Okay.
much.
So let me pick Infinix Hot 10i first.
Papa,
Before I come to, yes.
Hello?
Yes, King David.
Hello, Papa.
Yes.
Yeah, I wanted to come in once again.
Okay.
Please, Papa. Sometimes you ask why you want to be in, and you think, like Papa Nee ended with, you think you need to go forward, and you are moving on. And it says that must you only be minister that you can work in the vineyard of God? Can't you do it even being a lay? And you can perform whatever you want to, like Abu Ofe is doing. Must you only be an ordained minister before you can work in the vineyard of God? How do we tackle this?
Now, we have to pick it from this angle. The point is that everyone in the church have the opportunity of being of going into the ordained ministry. Every member of the church. You're already an agent lay where you are a catechist. It's similar to the one who is also a YPG president, a JY president. All of you are in the ministry. So someone being called into the full time, you are ready to go give everything up for God. Now, in answering this question, mostly I tell people that if you are going for a full-time ministry, you have a simple way of answering this question. A full-time ministry, those who are doing who want to go into full-time, not the part-time or the 10th ministry. If you're a catechist and you are going into it, in your case, quite is very simple. That now you want to move and give everything to God. So you just want to leave everything and go, because in the Presbytery Church, we don't have a full-time catechist. It's only, I think, one place in the Presbytery that we have one person I know to be a full-time catechist. Papa, where is that? I know it's around one of the gas speaking areas that they have accepted their catechist to be a full-time. Other than that,
that one, that one, most often it is congregational specific.
oh, okay. So it's a congregation that you appoint.
Yes, it's congregational specific. They've faded out, if my memory serves me right, the full-time catechist thing, it has been faded out.
So
yes, and so if somebody is a full-time catechist, it is congregation or district specific.
Okay. So in this case, if you're a catechist, you want to go into a ministry full-time, it's just like you want to give everything to God. You have decided to come into the ministry to work fully as an agent for the church. There are others who will be going for part-time. Then you have to let them understand that, yes, you are a catechist. Just like Papa Ni said, you are doing the work. But you feel that God want you to do this. However, the conviction that you have, as we said earlier, what convinced you is what will come to play here, to make everyone know that it's not just by your own daydreaming that you want to become an osofo, that God has really called you into this ministry. There are functions of the minister that the catechist is not privy to. And so, yes, a typical example, we have Saul as the king, but we had Samuel, who was the priest. At the point in time when Saul crossed carpet to offer the sacrifice, whilst Samuel was delaying, when Samuel got there, it was a different story altogether. I hope you recall that story. So everyone have a role to play. Anything that God wanted to come to this level, and so you move. So this answer moves for all the rest of you who are doing other works in the church. Last year, I think we had Samuel Abugri, who is with Dr. Abu Ofe, and going, I know I told him this question will come because everybody know you to be working already for the church. So why do you want to be in the collar? So you have to be justified by your calling. Convince them that it is not you. It's not, some people go and say that people are saying I should become an osofo. And sometimes it's like, so you yourself, you don't know you want to become an osofo. It's people who are saying it. And in some way be. So let's get our convictions right, and then we go. In Phoenix Hot 10, please, your question. Your hand has been up for some time. Also for Infinix Hot 10. Yes.
Hello.
Yes, we are here for you.
Hello.
Kasa.
Hello, Papa.
What's for Kasa?
Yeah, please my question. With the appearance, with the
Okay. The line isn't working, but if I get it, it has to do with appearance for the interview. Papani, appearance for the interview.
Please, you should be official, dress official. You are going for, let's say, more or less a job interview. So you dress officially. And as I've indicated in my introductory words, be in a flying tie as much as possible. No, not bow tie. So officially be dressed officially. I remember somebody who we are told when they were leaving the house, the national interview, the wife told him, this you are dressing there, it's better you change it. The person was in African wear. The wife tried and tried and tried. The man did not listen. And he came with the African wear. He was disqualified straight away. So please be in your official dressing. It's very important. Thank you.
And Papa, the ladies, the women.
The same thing applies to the ladies. We have official suits. Let me put it that way for ladies. You should be also in official.
Okay.
Yes,
Thank you.
because when you become an osofo, you will still be in suit. So learn wearing the suit now. Let them see the osofo in you when you go for the interview.
Right from the start.
Yes. Say, yes, I call with the way in clerical no boni come eba fatana ka keke. Let them just be confused as soon as they see you. So dress to kill, not dress to wound. Hey, to kill class in my baby. Yes, but you dress properly. Just dress properly.
Yes.
Is that also?
And Hima, also for the ladies, please, as I've said, please don't overdress. Lipstick, that red, blue, and those things.
But Papa, pons kakra say bad. Little.
Oh no, I'm talking about the lipstick. We have the, how do you call it?
Some red one.
That one, if possible, please avoid it. You can use the glowing one. I don't know how you call it, but the ladies knows.
Gloss.
Yes.
Thank you.
I think Papa need a
wife has been using some. To add to that, to add to that, when I submitted my forms, my passport, I was in African wear. They told me to go and remove it and fit the one that has been suit.
Yes, I have to even tell you, mine, for instance, I think, I don't like shaving plenty because of the pimples. So I remember mine that I even took the picture, the hair, and my DM called me that I should change the picture. Make sure that I bring another one where I've shaved and those things. Sometimes everything counts, please. According to you, they can even look at the picture on the paper and says, I'll call it my troubles. So what I get is that they can be favor even per your appearance. Do you get it? So let's go with that favor from the house. And please, when your husband or your wife speaks to you about some of the dressing, check it. Because sometimes you yourself, you might not know that can't have the proverbs that said you you might not know that the dress is not nice. When they prompt you, check it too. It's very, very important. Also for Godfrey. Your hand is up.
Thank you, Papa. Papa, is this question I want clarification. If they ask you what is sacrament and it's relevant to the believer and his maker, how do you go about this?
As I have indicated already, for us Presbyterians, we have only 2 sacraments. You should know them. Yes. You should know the relevance of the sacrament of baptism, the sacrament of the Holy Communion. You should know its relevance to the believer. Paul tells us that anybody who does not partake in the body and blood of Jesus Christ does not have if I'm not mistaken, does not have life in that person. And so you should know the relevance of the sacrament of the Holy Communion to the believer. Paul also tells us that he that eats and drink unworthily eats curses upon himself, brings curses upon himself. So you should know that as Presbyterian, this is our sacrament. What is the benefit of baptism for the believer? You should know. And so if you are able to know that these are the 2 sacraments and these are its relevance to the believer, you are good to go. If you have anything.
I think you want to ask something more. Godfrey, are you okay?
Papa, I'm okay.
Okay, so basically that's what that Papa have said. So we take the next one. So for Kwame Williams, your hand is up.
Yeah, but my question has to do with the various departments of the church, and specifically 3 of them, the AHRM, DSS, and ESR. Especially the DSS and ESR. I'm always confused with the functions of the 2 departments.
ESR is ecumenical and social relations. It deals most often with interfaith issues and our relationship with our partner, like our other partners who are not. So our relationship with other faiths, our relationship with our other denominations, other denominational churches. Let me put it that way. Then development and social services that works most often in our agricultural settings, our health institutions, and those kind of things. So a communica has to do with interfaith and faith issues, and then DSS has to do with developmental issues like the health issues, environmental issues, agricultural issues. If maybe my brother Ima has
Oh, I think that's all. That's all.
Papa, and the AHRM.
That one is
AHRM.
about administration.
Administration and human resource management. So AHRM, when you go to the interview, national interview, you see him there because our files is in his office. Even though he's not a minister, he holds your file. And so he deals with all staff of the church at the head office and us as ministers. If maybe my brother Ima has anything to add.
But that's it. So
But
the
just
administration is about.
follow up on that.
Pardon?
Okay, continue.
A follow-up question on that.
Yes.
So, assuming maybe
I have an add up.
Okay.
I'll add up to the DSS.
Okay. Okay, Mama. I think Mama is lying. Yes, we are listening.
A little I'll add to the DSS is for what I know. It also deals with entrepreneurship. How we train people on entrepreneur and how to bring up their skills to help develop the church as well. That is a little I'll add up to the DSS. That's
Okay.
the development.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Let me quickly share a page with you on our current head of department. As I said, there have been some few changes, which we'll get very soon.
Okay.
So is a page there? Can you get a page?
Okay.
So currently, our heads of departments at the head office.
No.
You have the.
Papa, can you scroll?
So we are back. Okay, can you get the page? Is the page visible?
Papa, I was saying that
Get
couldn't
the name.
get the name.
Can you see the page now?
The name.
No, we can't see that.
Okay, so at the head office, the moderator is
Papa.
Yes, Mama.
Papa, I would also suggest that the candidates should go for the handbook of the church. It contains all of this.
The church handbook.
Departmental.
Very good.
Their heads, their directors. They are
Thank
there.
you very much.
We will
Even with their contact numbers.
Okay.
That's good one too.
Yes, a handbook. Yes. Yes.
So the
And then
moderator.
from there, we'll know the presbyteries that are, yes.
Okay, thank you. So that's a good information from Mama. So Right Reverend Joseph Obri Yabo Amante is a moderator. So these are officers at the national level. Now, Reverend Dr. Godwin Ino Donko, the clerk, but note it that at the presbytery level, you have to know that of your presbytery. And that's what Mama is saying, that when you take the handbook, you get every presbytery and the various officers at the presbytery. Reverend Mrs. Esther Ohinekwafo, I'm told, has now been replaced. Her term has come to an end. I'm yet to get the full name, but I know it's Reverend Bossman. That's what I overheard. I'm yet to get official.
His full name is Joshua
Bossman. Okay.
Oini Bossman. Oini Bossman.
Okay, so he will come to replace Madam here. Okay. And then Mr. Ohinekwafu is the human resource. Okay. And I'm told this one, the wife died, and then Mama also married Mama. So the other one is there. Mrs. Rebecca Teku Saban is the DSS. She is still at post. Mrs. Rosemond Amoako Apentin, Director of Education. She is still at post.
I learned she will be going.
Oh, yeah, she has also ended. Yes, there are 3 of them.
Yeah.
Yes, she has also ended. I don't know the new person yet. We'll get it for you later. Then Reverend Armah Ashite, Ecumenical and Social Relation, he has also ended. So he's also going to be replaced. I don't know who.
But he is more or less, he will end next year, more or less.
Oh, okay. So he still be at
because the person that is replacing him has 1 year to do at Akari Church.
Oh, okay. Reverend Decker. Is it Reverend?
No. Reverend Decker is in Atomic Hills. He is the district minister for Atomic Hills.
Oh, okay. Okay. So
I think his one.
Yes, sir.
His name is, if I'm not mistaken, Reverend Kofi Ankama Asamoah. He's at Akari Church.
Ankama Asamoah. Okay.
Okay, so he will be taking over from him. So they will be working hand in hand until the man finishes his term at the Akari Church.
Oh, okay.
So but Papa has been transferred to Shalom, Osu North.
Oh, okay. Okay, Osu North, just around the Danko Circle.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So this the Ecumenical and Social Relation, this Reverend Dr. Saban, who is the Human Mission and Evangelism. Note the spelling of the Saban. Is it Saba and Saba? So look at this one and look at this one. Note the differences. Director of Finance, Mr. De Graaf Hansen, Mr. Yimanal Ankama, NGO Coordinator. We have Mr. Sam Apia, Health, he is the Health Coordinator. Mrs. Lydia Annang, HR Manager. Reverend Ezekiel George Labi, he is a PRO. The internal auditor.
He's also been replaced.
The internal auditor.
Yep.
Oh, okay. So the internal auditor is also there. Reverend Charles K. Kusa is also the internal auditor for us here. Okay. So we continue with the list. We have, again, is there Richard Gia and Son Legal Advisor, Officer, Solomon Mensah, Account Manager, Patrick Armah, Property Manager. I think now this guy is an also he was commissioned this 31st of July.
July, okay.
Yes, is that Reverend Patrick Armah? Enoch Nati, and then Estate Officer, Mrs. Bridget Annang, Estate Officer. So basically, these are those at the head office. There was one too I wanted to talk about. Has to do with the a quick one here with you for you. Is it? It's missing. Okay, I have it at the top here, and these are the lay reps on the General Assembly Council. So, Upper Presbytery, Miss Rhoda Damata, Mrs. Stella Sia, is this? It's not Sewa, so Siawa Nziga, Ngiza, Kwewu Presbytery. Mr. Stephen Opong, Bronga Hafu Presbytery, Miss Evangelina Amegashi, Equiapim Presbytery. We have the West Achim there. We have the Achim Ebuakwa, Dr. Lawrence Abuaje, Paul Ado Esa, Western Presbytery. Okay, Papa, Safo Kwame Williams, your hand is up.
My question has to do with the directors. How is a HR manager different from AHR?
The HR manager is in charge of only human resource. Not like an appointment, it's a full-time work for that person. The other one is an appointment as for human resource. And that one is a manager. This one is a director. If you look at it, one is a manager, one is a director. So it's like having a director of administration and human resource management, and having a manager for HR. Oh, Kwame Safu Williams, the Assembly. And this is what HR, human resource manager. I don't know whether you get it. It's like having a chartered accountant and having an account officer. I hope now you understand it. That's the system.
Yes, please.
Okay, so let's reconnect, and then this one is just by the line that it came in. Let's reconnect, and then we brush over, and then we continue with our question and answer. We'll have time for all this later on, because we have the chairpersons, the Presbytery chairpersons also here. All of them currently, all of them are here. We'll talk about them later. So connect and reconnect, and then Papa can finish with us.